Recorded live in Austin, Texas, USA, it's the William Montgomery Show. Starring William Montgomery and the devious Casey Rocket. With the Tony Chin Orchestra. The William Montgomery Jr. Dancers. As always, William is joined by the lovely Erica. I'm Casey Rocket. And now here he is, the Big Red Machine, the Memphis Strangler, William Montgomery.
You look like we're doing like, you know what we look like?
This is a serious what?
We look like judges. We look like the people who do commentary on video games.
For sure.
Like on Hearthstone or like we talk,
1000%. Remnant 2. I'd be able to talk a lot about Remnant 2 right now.
I've not played that yet, but I could make it up.
All right, guys, we're going to go live.
All right.
Okay.
And we are recording. Hello.
How's it going? Bryce, thank you so much for being here. Duncan, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Very short notice. It was so nice of you to come. You brought some Metamucil.
Yes, I did.
We've been gaming a bunch. I mean, we got a lot to say. I mean, the podcast is different. We're in a different room today. It's a different podcast today.
Yeah. And, this is a beautiful space, William. You have been so generous with your time on my podcast, and people love you on the DTF8.
Well,
your episodes explode. People love them. I'm pretty sure they got my channel demonetized, but it's worth it because, or partially, I'm not sure. I don't really understand.
What happened?
I don't know. Understand the YouTube rules that much, but I feel like they're
cursing.
It's not. I think that it's an algorithm. I don't think it's a person, which would be great if it was just one person who had to watch everything on YouTube.
So the algorithm, that's not people, it's the computer.
It just is scanning for words and combinations of words. And like, it's, I did an episode with Tony Hinchcliffe and I put it and I transcribed it and put it into ChatGPT and was like, in this conversation, what should not go on YouTube?
Yeah.
And it just described the entire podcast. It's like every part of the podcast wouldn't work.
Damn.
I know. So, I think you just have to if the algorithm allows something through, great, but you probably have to just expect it won't.
For sure.
Unless you're doing like a gaming podcast or.
So that's why we got to, because I think maybe what would have flagged one of the times that I did your podcast recently was the Roselia, the Pokemon, the sexy Pokemon. I mean, that was something.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the Pokemon Satan connection could have done it. But yeah, man, I think it's exciting that you're turning your podcast into a gaming podcast. And
I know. We're real excited about it. Bryce is a big gamer. I think he's on board.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would love to talk about some of the top gamers right now. Did you hear what happened to Jexor?
I did hear what happened to Jexor, and for people who might be listening or watching, if y'all didn't hear, it's nuts. Jexor did not really deserve that.
No,
Gosh.
absolutely not. When a lot of people right now are upset with Blizzard in general.
Yes.
I think the new Diablo release is getting great reviews, but a lot of people are saying, hey, why didn't you do this initially? Why did it take this long to make it's Diablo 4, not Diablo 1? You had a chance to do it. And of course, with Hearthstone, a lot of people have been complaining about the meta. And, this is inevitable in any iteration of Hearthstone. Someone's going to be upset about it, especially in Battlegrounds. The recent update did get rid of the beast frog combo, which was pissing everybody off.
Oh no!
Which I liked. Did you enjoy that one, Bryce?
That was my staple.
Well, it's annoying. And, again, I get it. Like my attitude when it comes to Battlegrounds, and of course I'm going to get back to Jexor. Yeah. My attitude when it comes to Battlegrounds is you're there to win. You're not there to make friends. It's literally Battlegrounds. It's not friendship grounds. And if that means you have to use what is available to you. And so I'm not going to pass up on a great combo just because it's going to upset the other people I'm playing against, because the animation in that particular combo could take ultimately like 3 minutes, which cuts into your time for select.
Cuts into a ton of time. And you have to be so careful, though, Duncan. At some of these tournaments, I remember the one down in Orlando, Florida. It was, I think, a Madden tournament.
Yeah.
And somebody lost and then got their gun out and started blasting and killed the guy that beat his ass. You got to be so careful at some of these gaming events now. I mean, Blizzard again. Blizzard, say something about this stuff.
You know, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you there. I don't think it's Blizzard's place to state like what is already law. Like Blizzard doesn't need to say, from what you talked about, which is the incident with firearms, to just the pantsing that's been happening at these things. If it's like the whole spectrum of violence, and pantsing is a very violent act. Like pantsing can send you into like a spiral. They say 20% of people experiencing symptoms of schizophrenia were pantsed multiple times in elementary school. Did you know that?
It's weird you say that, Duncan, because I have a specific memory. I think I was in the 7th grade where I'm in gym class and I'm kind of carrying on with my boys and my arms were up like this. Because again, I'm hanging out in gym class. I'm relaxing. It's the one class out of the freaking day. I can chill a little bit, and then somebody pantsed me, and it's so interesting you say that about the schizophrenia thing, because I think one of the first times I did acid, I start getting these flashbacks about getting pantsed, and then I start second-guessing what I should have done differently.
Yeah.
So
that, that brings us to Jaur. Because Jaur, he used a combo that was causing a lot of ill will among players. And he did that, and then he blew the party horn thing that he does, which really like riled people up. And he won, which is all that matters in Battlegrounds. Yeah. But then I guess he was walking to a subway at midnight, and he got pantsed. And
Jaur. And again, for anybody listening or watching, we're talking about Jaur right now.
Yeah. Spray painted a frog on his ass. And, to me, I'm disappointed that he is canceling all the engagements he had coming up.
Yeah, I was randomly gonna be in Buffalo, New York when he was in Buffalo, New York. I was pumped. I was already coming up with questions. And Duncan, I swear, I don't generally, when I go meet somebody like one of my heroes or something, I generally don't come up with questions. But I had some questions for Jaur.
Like what? What would be your top 10 questions for Jaur? Top 15 questions.
Gosh, how old were you when you started gaming? Because I've read your book. There's a book.
He was 12.
Is it?
He was 12. What else?
When did you start? I mean, he's the person who pretty much revolutionized. What was it? The frog and what was that move?
The Death Knight combo?
Yeah, the Death Knight combo. I think he pretty much was revolutionized. He really got the meta going on that one.
Yeah, it's not just the Death Knight combo. His ability to pull combos out of nothing, his ability to think ahead, he has memorized the probability of getting every single card in every single round. And of course, his ability to manage economy while understanding like how to get to mid game, which of course
gotta get to mid game.
Build that defense up. Don't be in a hurry. But also, if you're being presented with potential combos that late game could get you that win, don't play tempo.
Yes. And don't do a glass cannon build.
No, sir.
Don't do a glass cannon build.
No, or and again, like Jaur love scam builds. Jaur, and I don't know why I'm saying past tense. I get this sense he's not coming back.
No, after they got his ass in the subway, it's probably over for that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't want to get political, but to address his sympathies with North Korea and the Kim Jong-un.
Weird position. See, that's something I would ask him. What's up with your love for North Korea? What have they ever done for you?
I know when it came out that he was playing Hearthstone against Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin.
Yep.
Regularly.
Yep.
A lot of people.
Kim Jong-un.
Yep.
For people that don't know, I mean, look at that guy. He is ready. That guy's builds.
He's a mage. He's a mage warrior.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is a huge gamer.
He is, and he's good. You got to give him, give credit where credit is due. He does kill a lot of his adversaries. He does a lot of crazy stuff, but he also does a lot of crazy stuff on the screen.
It's true. I think that you could argue, and I've watched some of the StarCraft replays that he played against some of the generals in his army.
Yes.
And I did get the sense that the generals weren't taking advantage of certain strategies that would have easily gotten them a win. But if you look at his international games where, they don't have the reach to arrest people.
For sure.
He's good. He's good and unconventional in his play style. So,
very unconventional.
And I think we have to be able in this world to sort of understand that when it comes to playing games, I don't care what you are. Are you a communist, capitalist, serial killer, saint? When we play games, you're a gamer.
Yes, gamer first and foremost. And that's why I think somebody like Jaxor was able to really get a sizable part of the population just kind of on his side again. And then he starts doing this North Korean stuff. And then it's like, Jaxor, what are you doing walking around New York City by yourself?
Yep.
You're telling me you don't even have security? Somebody at your level,
I know,
I would think would need security.
It's very JFK. It's very ride around in a convertible and kind of ignore that you've got enemies. And I think maybe that is something when you decide to play at the state level, when you get that invitation from the Russian Federation that Putin wants to play with you, which a lot of gamers have been getting that invitation, you do have to think they, especially I think more with Russia than North Korea, they have reach.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're, again, I don't want to stir up conspiracy theories. We're trying to avoid the algorithm flagging you.
We have to.
But it is worth mentioning that Plenus 9 plays against Putin and then comes down with radiation sickness, polonium. They said he scratched himself on a polonium nail.
Well, how are people getting that? Again, you talked about it a little earlier, but the ACL fever, whatever, I hear a little bit of, it's like, did somebody drop some sort of dirty bomb at Zilker Park this weekend?
They just dropped dirt. It's just dust. It's so dry.
Yeah.
So it's a combination. They did it's like, if you've ever been to ACL, one thing you're going to notice right away is Birkenstocks, really filthy people wearing Birkenstocks.
Did you ever wear Birkenstocks?
Never would I.
Really?
I would never.
They're comfortable. Have you really never worn them before?
I will never wear Birkenstocks.
Oh my gosh. And you haven't in your whole life?
Let me think.
Have you ever worn Tevas or little sandal? Do you ever wear sandals?
I will wear flip-flops at the beach.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to wear, I'm not going to expose my feet to ACL dust, because that dust is not just dust. Think of all the stuff in that dust. It's aside from the drugs that are probably in there, the cocaine, the meth in that dust, you're talking about just rivulets of music lover sweat,
skin, sweat,
burrito fragments falling out of the mouths of people cheering at Chapel Roan. You know what I mean? Just filthy. And you're walking around in that with your bare feet, and you probably have toenail fungus. And if you don't,
athlete's foot,
that is not what you will see you will not see beautiful, worshipable feet.
Yeah,
those are
some pretty
erotic,
good feet
beautiful, perfect feet that deserve worship. And
those are some good feet.
I bow to those feet.
These are free too. I didn't have to pay anything for these feet. These are free feet.
Where'd you find those feet?
How are you getting free feet?
They're just on the internet. They just give them out.
Oh, yeah, 2D feet, But the feet you'll see, it looks like a hobbit shoved his foot into the syphilitic vagina of an orc and then put Birkenstocks on it, and then it's just covered in dust. So this is ACL. This is what you're going to see out there.
I didn't go. Yeah, I wouldn't go. You wouldn't pay me to go.
I would go with like a World War II gas mask and like.
Oh yeah, that would also be probably a fun look, I think.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
That would be a fun look. Wait, hold on, Duncan. So JFK, who was his? What was it? It was his brother who died in the hotel.
Yeah,
like back in the kitchen area.
RFK? No.
Which Kennedy was that died in the hotel? I don't know. It was in a kitchen. But Duncan, I was thinking about it. Do you think if you were like a waiter when that was going down, because I think it happened in the back of a kitchen or just when he was walking through the hotel, do you think if you were holding up a bunch of plates, Duncan, when that shot rang out and he hit the deck, you would have dropped the thing?
Yeah.
I think I would have too.
I would have
know.
dropped the plates.
Me too.
For sure. And you got to wonder, like.
Me too.
Like, I mean, I don't want to be the guy who doesn't drop the plates.
I know.
Someone gets assassinated.
Right in front of you.
And you're just like, got to get to table 6.
I know.
You should drop the plates.
You do. Bryce, what do you think? You'd be able to hold them up, or you think you'd drop them?
I'd have dropped them, but I would have argued that they should not have taken the cost of the plates out of my paycheck.
Oh.
Did that happen?
I think I did. Did you read that somewhere, Bryce? Because I had heard that before.
It's one of my twisted ideas.
That's crazy. No, I'm sure they did that.
Yeah, they had to take it. Yeah, they had to buy their new uniforms.
I guess here's an argument for if you're around a federal official who gets assassinated and you got plates in your hand. There's an argument for trying not to drop them. When you're dying, they say that it's your last thoughts, or really it's more like, because feelings inspire thoughts. So it's really your last feelings will determine your next incarnation. So if you drop the plates and someone's dying and it like pisses them off or just jolts them, then you could send their incarnational trajectory in a bad direction.
Who could? The person who was dying on the floor, or just the
plate drop?
Yeah,
because okay. Picture this. You are a senator, I don't know, and you're getting escorted out of a restaurant through the kitchen. You get assassinated. Now you're bleeding out, right? You're dying, and you're beginning to experience the first phases of entering the bardo, the liminal space between this incarnation and the next.
Yeah.
So you are maybe coming out of your body, which is really scary. But you still have hearing, because that's one of the last things to go. Thus, the Bardo Thodol, the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Wait, so the movie Ghost had it right. Like when the one guy dies, doesn't the guy with the glass, it gets in his middle, and then he's coming out of his body. So they got it right.
They got it. Well, I mean, yeah. If you look at near-death experiences, like people hear. Like they hear things long after they're not supposed to be able to hear anymore. They're brain dead and they're hearing things, which is why if someone dies near you, like don't say what a dick or anything.
Good to know.
They can hear that.
Realize that.
Yeah, they can hear that. So like if you need to say something like that, like try to like go outside the building or something. But
yeah,
don't
I hope
say
nobody's ever around my ass when I die, because I probably don't want to hear what they have to say.
I mean,
maybe not. I don't know.
I would say the sweetest thing. I would be so sad, and I would say sweet things.
Oh, I don't think. Gosh, so then that would help me when I was going to the other side. Then I would be potentially reincarnated in a better or a different situation. Or
well, you don't want to die the way you like storm out of an apartment during a fight with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't want that energy taking you into the bardo. Like you want to leave, the way like you leave, I don't know, like a nice like love-making session with someone who you love, and then you got to go. It's a little sad, but you walk out with that glow.
Yeah.
That's how you want to die,
So then that means the next time you come to Earth or whatever, it could be positive.
Well,
be kind of a positive thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you go, like the problem is these days, most people, or it seems like a lot of people, just think that when your body stops working, you disappear forever. see, this is a common idea.
Yeah.
Secularism. Because, of course.
That's what Bryce thinks, I think.
You think that, Bryce?
Yeah.
Well, you might be right. I mean, and if you are right, that's incredible. Yeah. It's like now you're living in Richard Dawkins land. Death is the anesthesia that saves us from the pain of life.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Oh, yeah. Excited for it.
You sink into like, exactly. But see, this is the problem, is you're generally banking on essentially modernity's idea of heaven, which is as unprovable as heaven, because we just have no idea. And every month or so we find out about like the quantum reality and quantum vacuums and fucking particle entanglement and multiverse shit. So it's like, it's a roll of the dice. So, but let's just say you're wrong, Bryson. I don't know. Maybe you're right. If you're right, we're all very lucky, because it doesn't matter what kind of monstrous shit you did in your life.
Because then we're just gone.
Yeah,
banking on it.
Gone beyond gone. You are in heaven beyond heaven. I mean, like if you think about Bryce's heaven versus like standard heaven.
Yeah.
Standard heaven, you still got to deal with people. You got to deal with gaudy aesthetics. You've got to deal with family.
I wonder what that's like up there. Yeah. What if you don't want to see your family one day or something?
So,
I don't know.
Exactly. I mean,
but you got to be nice probably because it's heaven.
I'm sure it's nice to see them initially, but like year 7,000.
Yeah, what am I saying to my grandmother? But I love my grandmother.
I love you. I'm glad.
I love you. I was heaven bowling today, but I love you. I would want to spend all the time with you, but I'm heaven bowling today.
What do you mean heaven bowling?
It's like a normal type of bowling, right? You get the ball, 3 holes, and
oh my gosh! Pin. So you're saying, I could say that maybe to my grandmother.
Yeah.
B, love you so much, but today I gotta go bowling.
I gotta go heaven bowling today.
Oh, I got you. Heaven bowling.
My name's on a list. There's a bus waiting for us. I said
everybody wins, right? Because you're in heaven, so it's not fun.
Oh my gosh, that would be like that song. What if God was one of us?
Goosebumps.
Just a stranger on the bus.
Goosebumps.
Trying to make his way home. Maybe something in Rome. I don't know what else. Yeah.
By the way, you know what that brings me to? I don't mean to do well, it's not a plug. Shit's sold out. But there's something really exciting I want to talk about.
Yeah, my gosh.
Okay. So, people know me as a podcaster. People know me as a trainer, train top athletes. A lot of people don't know I've did physical therapy before I got into stand up. And
seriously, Bryce, did you have any idea?
I did not, but you cut a good figure.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah. And, I deal with a lot of athletes, top tier quarterbacks, tennis players, ice skaters. And
who's the most dramatic out of just those 3?
Ice skaters.
I know. That was my guess.
Well, because they come to you and there's so much stress because this is their life. And
it's on ice. I can't even ice skate.
It's on ice, and it's just you. It's you out there. It's of all the things that remind me of stand-up comedy, it's ice skating.
Interesting. Yeah.
They don't even have a mic. It's just you and the ice,
which almost makes it even scarier.
And to get people to laugh out there is so hard.
Yeah,
I know, but it's the best ones do it.
Yep.
And so they come in, and so the stress is causing inflammation. And the first step is to get that inflammation down. I won't bore you with the details, but I have like a procedure that I use that is successful 90% of the time in just stress reduction. Because if I can get them to relax, I can I can fix the twisted ankle. I can fix the knee. Obviously, if it's like a compound fracture, I can't do anything about it. But why would you even come to me?
They're going to go to an emergency room or
go to an emergency. Go to call 911.
Yeah,
but I just love. I feel like if you're a human being, for the time that you're here, to get like compartmentalize, to become a specialist in this or that. I'm a comedian, I'm a physical therapist, whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
It's I don't think that's healthy. Like we're everything. You're your ancestors. You're all of the universe expressing itself through you. And by the way, those weights that they're showing, if you see those, turn the other way. Those weights have caused so many injuries. Those are Perkinson blacks, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and you could see in this gym they're polished, so they look good. But
they're keeping it nice in there. It looks like
it haven't been used.
Those weights are not filled with iron. Those weights are filled with tech junk.
How are they allowed to keep doing this? Seriously, Duncan.
No idea.
How are they allowed?
No idea. It's so fucked up because inside those things are like compressed microchips and like a lot of the junk that gets shipped out these days, the tech junk, it's got experimental stuff in it. Yeah. It's got alien technologies, and you put that shit in a weight. There you go. Look at that mess. And it's like you get a lot of I see some answering machines in there. I see some shitty TVs, but mixed in there somewhere is going to be experimental Ukrainian drone technology, all kinds of stuff, and that gets smashed into a weight. And a lot of that stuff doesn't even need batteries. Mm-hmm. It's still functioning, and so you're getting this EMF blast while you're lifting weights. Not only is it counteracting the effects of working out, but it can cause seizures. It can cause delirium.
Can it also do that thing with the fingers? I know the people back in the day used to, I think it was different clock makers or something, they would put the uranium or something maybe in the clocks and they would paint it on. And
radium.
You would end up seeing pictures of people's fingers and they were all just doing off. That can happen with these things, right?
Would you mind pulling up Radium Girls? This is a really
good... gosh,
yes. It's kind of a similar deal, isn't it?
Oh, it's identical.
PB. I don't know how that company is allowed to. Somebody needs to say something, but then it's then you could turn into the.
Well, they're cheap. The weights are cheap, and I get it. Starting a gym is I think it's a beautiful thing. That it's a temple. It's social club. It's
and it can be a really good franchise opportunity. That was one of my first franchises I ended up getting into. Was a gym. It was a LA Fitness.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Love LA Fitness.
Yeah, I opened up an LA Fitness. This was in Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow.
Just totally random.
Great spot for an LA Fitness.
Oh my gosh, and it was wonderful, but then it's you got to be careful because you want to hire people that look like they work out. You want to hire people that work out, but then it turns out that the people that enjoy working out end up taking the workout equipment. So it's you gotta, people start stealing all the dumbbell. People start stealing it.
This is my recommendation with this problem, which is it's across the board. Gyms have to deal with people stealing weights. So my recommendation is, and you would be surprised, and go ahead and laugh at this, and call me, I know you probably wouldn't want this, but maybe you aren't an athlete. You can pay your employees in weights.
And that is it, because what do they do it by weight? So that is that all pretty valuable stuff?
Yeah, just you can come up with your own way of
give you 10 pounds this week, or because it sounds like a lot.
There is a way to come up with a equitable, fair sort of I'm going to pay you this much in U.S. currency, and I'm going to pay you this much in kettlebells.
Maybe I'll give you a 400 in U.S. currency. 25 kettlebells this month. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, or 1,000-pound kettlebell or whatever. It just depends on what the person's trying to do. But ultimately, if you offer if it's a good deal on the kettlebell, in other words, they're getting because if you're running a gym, you buy this shit wholesale.
Yeah, you get it cheap.
You get it cheap.
Perks for
That's
sure.
a big perk. So you have a kettlebell that would sell at Target for $80. But you bought it for 20.
Yep.
So you mark that down to 50. So in other words, $50 of their paycheck gets them an insane kettlebell.
And you're still making 30.
And you're still, yeah.
I mean, it can be a good deal. You're still making,
and you're getting, and I don't think you're like this, but
try me.
Just knowing you, knowing your spirit, knowing your soul, you don't strike me as someone who starts a gym because you want to make money.
No, oh my gosh, no. You're right. I had no idea what you were about to say.
It's that
You're
profit
totally right.
motive. It, to me, is it's so many entrepreneurs, they want to get into the gym game, and they're not thinking about this. This is potentially going to transform a person's life for the better. This is going to heal people. This is going to maybe, how many love affairs start at the gym?
A bunch.
How many
I would
romances?
imagine a bunch of romance.
And healthy parents, healthy child. So you're bringing healthy children into the world potentially. Like gyms are to me, the new temple of life. And so when you start a gym because you want to make money, it's like to me, that's like a secondary consideration. The value is the healing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think people can see through it. I think people can end up seeing when you're walking around your own gym or whatever, people can sense it off of you. And if it's not a genuine thing, not a genuine reason you've opened up this gym, people can sense it on you.
That's right. And, I can feel it out there. I'm not psychic or anything, but I feel people right now watching this and they're thinking, I need to get to the gym. I would like to exercise. I would like to work out. I know that I could feel better. I could look better. But I don't know how to get out of this seat. I don't know how to get going.
I don't know how to get out of the seat and stop playing these video games.
Right. Yeah. And the games are great, but it's personal responsibility. You've got to match every gaming hour with an hour at the gym. And if you do that, you will be in such great shape. So, schedule your gym time to match your Elden Ring time.
Yes.
And we're going to get to the place with VR where, you could actually wear suits of armor and move around, and
I can't wait.
The gamers will get in shape eventually. But for those of you out there, I would just invite you, number one, stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself, because attacking yourself to try to get your ass to the gym, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, look at this big, oily, fat piece of shit. Look at like what a waste I am. Look at my body. Look at like what a disappointment I must be to my ancestors. And look at like how if everyone teaches via action, what am I teaching people? How to slowly be consumed by one's hedonism to the point of becoming like Baron Harkonnen from Dune. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself. You got to love yourself to the gym, because
by the way, Duncan's not only talking to other people out there, he's honestly talking to me right now.
I'm just talking to you. I'll be honest, it wasn't for anybody.
Yeah,
you
my gosh.
Go to the gym, man.
If I was doing that 1 hour of gaming, 1 hour of gym, I would have been at the gym an hour. I would have only been able to sleep 4 hours yesterday because I would have gamed 10 hours. Then I would have been at the gym 10 hours. Then I would have had 4 hours of sleep.
Gotta get to the gym, man. You have to.
Bryce, tell me to.
Peak. That's peak. 4 hours of sleeping, 10 hours of gaming, 10 hours of gym.
No, but Duncan's saying I need to cut out the 10 hours of gaming, maybe.
No, Brian got it right.
No, yeah. That's
the
prime.
Day.
That's a perfect
prime
day.
That is life maxing.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
Okay.
You may not like it, but this is the ideal human day.
Yes, sir, Bryce. That's right. That is the ideal human day. 10 hours at Elden Ring, 10 hours at the gym, 4 hours of sleep, which is 2 hours too much if you ask me. Yeah. And then you are going, like in a week, you are going to be living in essentially a different universe. Like you will travel into another dimension where you don't wake up feeling like the sludge on the windshield of God's car.
Yeah. Because you're doing all that working out. Because again, 10 hours a day of working out, that's a bunch of working out.
That's right. And a lot of people don't know that like the dexterity in gaming and the in physical exercise. This is peanut butter and jelly. Your Elden Ring game is going to improve. Your Hearthstone game is going to improve because the mental clarity that comes from lifting weights directly connects to gaming.
Would you ever tell any of the ice skaters, would you ever get them to game a little bit, or there was more of the ice skaters, they're not really doing that?
Oh my God. You know what's so exciting about ice skaters? They're huge gamers.
Really?
I have never had an ice skater come into my clinic that wasn't like an incredible gamer. They love Call of Duty.
Damn. And did you help Michelle Kwan?
Yes,
Weren't
I
you
did.
one of the people that really got Michelle Kwan out at because she was in a little funk, is what I was reading. I think you helped Michelle? That's so cool.
I didn't help her. She helped herself. You know, I always, I do not take credit. You cannot take credit for healing. You know, that is a universal, like, that is the arc of the universe. You know, you know, in my book, you guys, I don't want to plug too many things.
No, you need to, because is it out now?
Yeah, Weight Games is what it's called.
Weight Games.
Yeah, and it's just it's like my entire philosophy and methodology for, you know, not just healing any physical injuries, but for improving your like overall gaming experience, and of course to get those win rates up. And
I love the name of the book, because again, if you were talking about working out or something, you're talking about weight gains.
That's it.
But we're talking about weight games. I love it. And excuse me for asking if it was out, because I knew you had been working on it a bunch. I just didn't know exactly, because I knew it. I just didn't know exactly.
Are you kidding? Thank you for letting me signal boost. I mean, if you love gaming, and if you are a weightlifter, this book is for you. If you are a weightlifter and you've been thinking, you know, I should get into gaming, but you feel that a lot of people feel like intimidated by gamers. They, you know, anyone who's like gotten in a Call of Duty lobby after their first game knows what, like, that is humiliating. You're going to get,
they're dunking on you.
They dunking on you.
Oh, they dunking.
We've all been there, and it's not fun, which is why.
Have you ever been the dunker in that situation? Did you ever get on those things and talk to people? No.
Do negative game talk.
Cool. That's good.
I spread positivity when I play Fortnite. To me, there's two games going on there. There's the game of Fortnite, but the real game is the game of healing, the game of peace. Mm-hmm. Blessed are the peacemakers. And so I try to, you know, whenever I'm with, you know, chatting with somebody, I try to talk about how it, like, if you can find peace in your own life, if you can love yourself, then everyone can do it. And then it's not a yeah. It's actually, it's, you know, a little bit more than yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's not,
and it doesn't even have to be the gaming lines. It can be the chat lines too, because there's a lot of lonely souls out on those chat lines. Where you call the number, did you ever call those things?
Oh, you mean like the psychic hotlines and stuff?
Yeah, but there was ones I remember in LA. I would call them sometimes when I'd be all drunk and on cocaine, and I'd just get on the chat lines. There were these chat lines where, I don't know, maybe you'd meet up with people eventually. I didn't know exactly what they were.
No, they're wonderful. And, you know, here's the thing. What you just said, being drunk and on cocaine.
Yeah.
If we look, you know, and I'll just take one of the great, you know, religious texts. I'm non-denominational. I love all religions, almost all religions. But
the sidewalk ends?
What?
No, I'm kidding. That's a great book of poetry.
Shel Silverstein, I think you could say, was a prophet. And a lot of
1,000%.
You got it. And the predictions in that book are coming true today. You know, you look up the Shel Silverstein, When the Towers Fall.
I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay.
Yep.
I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps.
Yeah, and what is it? And though today I turned 7, the date is 9/11.
See,
and now it makes sense.
Predicts it. And so, you know, that picture, famous picture of them looking over the edge there, if you look closely, what is it? It's an airplane wing.
Yeah, and exactly. And that skyline, I think at one point you would have seen Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers,
but they no longer are there.
Yeah, but you look at that and you know that's the New York skyline. Just they took it out.
And look, it's the poor souls. It's all of us. We're just looking over the edge, not having any kind of direction at all. It's a giant tragedy has just occurred on American soil. Now we're going to literally where the sidewalk ends, not having any idea what to do. Yeah, it's.
Why don't we read the poem together? Do you mind pulling up the poem where the sidewalk ends?
Yeah, give me a sec.
This is, my feeling is, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Spider-Man. I don't care if it's
Ant-Man,
the Tao Te Ching, Ant-Man. I don't care if it's Marvel. I don't care if it's DC. Everything is a scripture if you read it the right way. And Shel Silverstein, he like many great prophets, he brought something much more than what people think. Maybe we'll switch paragraphs. You read the first one.
Yeah. And again, this is for, again, anybody watching or listening, this is the namesake to where the sidewalk ends. This is the actual poem.
Nucleus of this book. And, when you hear it, instead of just thinking this is like a kid's poem written by a dude who hung out at the Playboy Mansion all the time and just fucked all day long.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about that, think about this as a prophecy. Think about this as Shel Silverstein talking about the impending singularity, disclosure, and the emergence of quantum computers, which will completely make all forms of encryption irrelevant. And of course, the very real possibility that these quantum computers have already reached that place and no one's data is safe.
And by the way, Cat Stevens was on, I think he and Cat Stevens were really good friends. And Cat Stevens was talking about a lot of this stuff as well in his songs. I mean, it's not every generation. Yeah, Moonshadow. I mean, it's like Lady Dabbardville.
Moonshadow. So I'm being followed by a moonshadow. Moonshadow, by the way, in the 60s, that's what they called a fad. That's what now they call them glowies.
Are you serious?
So Moonshadow, everyone thinks it's this like happy song, but it's like it means he feels like he's being followed by a fad.
Whoa,
by CIA.
To
he was
that
being
song.
monitored by the CIA. He called them Moonshadows.
I'll listen to that song differently. I knew Cat Stevens and Shell were good buddies. I didn't know that connection on Moon because I love that song. I love that song.
Yeah, leaping and hopping on a moonshadow. That's him. That's a threat.
So that's him. Yeah, catching the person
and
threatening that he's going to beat the guy down.
Yeah, leaping and hopping on a moonshadow. That's him jumping up and down on a CIA agent that he took out. Which he did do that, apparently, in his biography. He says that.
Cat Stevens, that's why he had to change his name. Or no, I don't know exactly why he changed his name.
I'm not
Yusuf
sure either.
Islam.
It's harder to remember, is all I know. It's like annoying because I can't remember it. Like Cat Stevens, you remember it. Yusuf Islam is like, it's hard for me to get Alexa to play that.
Yeah, I know. Just stick with Cat Stevens. I get it. I think he had a near-death experience, almost drowning in the ocean. But it's like, stick with Cat Stevens.
Absolutely. No,
Yusuf Islam.
Well, I have a sticky note next to my Alexa that says Yusuf Islam because, like, I cannot remember.
And see, that's crazy. You don't need to. It's weird. It's bad that you have to even do that.
I absolutely, and because there's a hip hop artist named Yusuf Aslan. It's like it sucks because you get these bullshit Chronicle of Narnia raps.
Gosh,
I know it's annoying.
And you just want to hear Father and Son or Morning Has Broken.
Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time?
Yeah, that's a great one. I love Sitting. I think Sitting is one of my favorites. I love that
How does it
song.
go?
Oh, I'm on my way. I know I am somewhere not so far from here. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, that's kind of the beginning.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I love Cat Stevens.
Oh, God, me too.
Father and Son. That's what I want him to play at my funeral.
Wild World.
Oh, my gosh.
Ooh, baby. It's hard to get by just on a smile.
No truer words have been ever spoken before.
Yeah, and like the funny thing about that is he wrote that song. He had been dating. I don't want to use the word groupie, but he'd been seeing a a woman who was a fan of musicians.
Yeah.
And he walked in on her filleting Neil Young and Mick Jagger at the same time. Like, there's a name for it. What do they call it when you, I don't want to get you banned, but let's just say it wasn't like taking turns between the two. It was like consolidating the
Eiffel Tower? No, that's just a move maybe where it can be two people, one in the front and one in the back.
Is that warping? Is it called warping?
Where what? It's literally a thing and a woman at the same time. The two guys.
So basically, I guess the way to say it so it doesn't mess up the algorithm, like, you love hot dogs. You don't want to just eat one and then eat the next. You eat 2 hot dogs simultaneously, but you love them so much you don't chew them up.
Yeah.
You just you're
gobbling them.
You're gobbling them and then regurgitating them.
Is this with one bun or 2?
Well, in this case, I guess it would be if a bun is half of an ass, and we're talking about Neil Young and Mick Jagger, it would be 4 buns.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of carbs.
Yeah, fair enough, Bryce. I agree. That is a bunch of carbs somebody's dealing with.
Bunch of carbs, bunch of gluten, bunch of gluten, and a lot of mayonnaise on those buns, apparently. But Cat Stevens walked in on someone who loved hot dogs and music and, covered in mayonnaise, and he wrote Wild World about her. Hard to get by just upon a smile.
What, did he let her go? Yeah, he probably just walked out of the door just feeling dejected.
The story goes, he did not walk out of the room. He sat down in a lounge chair
and watched
and spontaneously sang the song while she was finishing them off.
That's a genius.
So if you hear that song and picture that, you know what a genius this man is. Because for me,
that's a genius. Yeah, I'm out of there.
This barbecue.
Right, I'm out of there.
I'm out.
1,000%.
Yeah,
maybe a second. Maybe looking for a second. But
it is cute. You probably. It's like your worst nightmare, but also
well, you'd have to look for a second. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like for a second.
Sometimes nightmares turn into dreams.
Yeah,
good dreams
for sure.
If you look them in the eye.
I know. I got to get better at that because all my nightmares just end up being nightmares. Some, but yeah, I need to get better at that.
Well, you're so hard on yourself, just like
I gotta get better.
Have your hell dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so this, by the way, we already did a little karaoke, so I'm super excited. Not only do I do physical therapy, I'm a visual artist.
Yes,
and I have been since I was about 4. Got accepted into Juilliard at 12, and
pretty unbelievable, huh, Bryce? But it's true.
Yeah,
wow.
And wasn't an easy few years. They did not treat me any differently than the other students.
And you're young. It's like Doogie Howser.
And a lot of people don't know Juilliard does hazing just like any other school. And they were like, when they accepted me, they were like, we're going to treat you like an 18-year-old.
And that's when it was legal to haze. That's when you were allowed to haze.
Oh, it was
not now, but back then.
So back then, it was legal. It was enthusiastically encouraged.
Yeah. What was some of the stuff they were doing to your little ass? See, it makes me even sad. I almost don't even want to hear it. You didn't deserve that. You were so young, but
I know, man. It's awful. They would just kick. They would kick you in while you're painting. They just kick you in the balls.
God.
And it fucks up your mid brush stroke. And
I can't imagine. I'm already so bad at painting and drawing. That would really mess up for me.
What's crazy is there's this artist, Garrison Plintz, who realized that those accidental brush strokes from the getting kicked in the balls were making really great art.
So like Picasso kind of.
No, what's crazy, he does that. He does, it's hyper-realistic art. And so he somehow, he has he has 3 assistants. They know how to kick him in the balls in just the right way to cause the next perfect stroke for these photorealistic paintings. And you know what he paints? The human scrotum. And it's hyper realistic. It's so deep.
Does he at least get that wear a cup or something, or he's just going full throttle, no cup?
The paintings he did with a cup are significantly less interesting than the ones he did without a cup, and less valued. Like they sell for much less.
Yeah.
So he like when you're buying one that was with the cup, and you're buying. It's like essentially a print, basically. It's not the real thing. No offense.
I'm looking for a Bob Ross painting. I get on eBay sometimes, but I don't think they exist. I think they're somewhere. I think they're locked away somewhere is what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
Is that true?
I swear I heard that was true.
I've seen the Bob Ross vault, but they wouldn't let me in.
You saw it? Where was it?
I saw it. It was in Nevada.
Is it guarded?
It's got 2 guards. If you think 2 guards is guarded, it's guarded. I think 4. I think you kind of need 4 or more guards to be guarded.
Oh my gosh, 2 guards. Isn't that all that was guarding Jesus when he was in the, was it 2 guards or no, it was 1
Jesus
guard?
had guards?
No, after they killed him and he was in the tomb.
In the tomb. Yeah.
That was 2 guards. Is that a connection somehow?
Oh, shit.
Bob Ross's place has 2 guards. Jesus had 2 guards.
Wow. Both
I don't know.
rose from the dead, supposedly.
I know.
Do you believe that shit? I don't believe that.
I want to believe it. Gosh, Duncan, I want to believe it more than anything. You got to hold out hope. Sometimes with me.
They buried him. They didn't put him in a tomb. They buried Bob Ross like in a casket.
I know, and I'm sure he wasn't doing good there at the very end, as none of us would have been. I mean, I'm sure he was doing really bad. I'm sure he was really frail. I'm sure it wasn't working out. But
because then that's obviously Jesus is the Son of God, but he was lucky that they did tomb. Because, like, if they'd buried his ass,
would have been more difficult. Yeah, how did they get him out from 6 feet?
Still be down there.
Yeah, would have messed up everything.
He could be like, there's some version of reality where Jesus is like just under a bunch of like rubble in the Middle East.
I wonder what that reality's like.
It would be horrible, claustrophobic. Like, imagine being like buried for hundreds of years.
I can't imagine.
Immortal.
I can't even imagine.
Okay, can I show you this? So I'm really excited about this. And you're going to see some of these images, some of these paintings I did, and you might think, I want to buy them. But
are you selling them?
No, well, they're sold.
Oh,
they sold. Oh. But I'm doing a showing in New York City.
Damn. So that's almost like full circle. I know, not really. I know you've been there a lot, but Juilliard, young age, going back there, selling your artwork. I mean, that must be a good feeling.
It is a good feeling and a great feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine. I mean, getting hazed at Juilliard as a young guy, I can only imagine. And now being able to sell your stuff, it's already all sold.
All sold. Yeah, that right.
So this is a first. What is? I already love it.
So yeah, this is a series I'm doing. It's called I Love Karaoke, and it's just a celebration of karaoke, a celebration of the mainly like the ladies who love karaoke. And
I know some of those women are so good at singing karaoke.
I know.
It's like, why did you never get on American Idol or America's Got Talent? It's like, God, you're so good at singing at karaoke. Why didn't you ever do anything with that?
And as a man, nothing makes a man happier than when his girlfriend, wife, mistress invites him out for a night of karaoke.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the so best. The feeling of going to do karaoke with your girlfriend and hopefully her girlfriends. Hopefully she brings.
Hopefully it's a crew of people. The more the better.
The
karaoke.
Everything about, like, one of my favorite things, and sadly it hasn't happened to me as much as I'd like, but end of the day, you're getting home, you're ready to turn on the TV, smoke a joint or whatever, and your girlfriend says, "Hey, honey, let's go do karaoke with my girlfriends." And your night goes from just kind of a bummer, getting high, watching Clint Eastwood movies, to like,
just
like
crazy
Broadway. It's like, to me, there's no difference between Broadway and karaoke.
For sure.
These are the hidden talents of the world. Like, fuck American Idol. Fuck top 100 music on Spotify. Fuck Lady Gaga. Fuck David Bowie. I have seen people 100 times better than them
Oh, me too.
at karaoke nights.
Just did a random karaoke night. And for anybody wondering, curious, do I have to drink? Do I have to have fun to do karaoke? Just from my personal experience, because that was one of my big worries when I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break with the cocaine and drinking. Seriously, one of my biggest worries was, am I going to enjoy karaoke as much? Because I associated alcohol so much with the karaoke. But weirdly enough, and praise be to God, when I went back the first time with not drinking, it was actually even more special, even more intimate. It was, and don't get me wrong, I used to, again, love drinking a bunch, going to the karaoke, but I swear it's almost a more intimate, almost spiritual.
Spiritual's the word.
Where seriously, if I'm even may be so bold as to say that, I swear it's almost more of a spiritual thing because you're all there. You can really hear everybody singing. And yeah, so what? Some people say, well, what about people that maybe aren't good? Well, everybody's good in their own way. Everybody's trying.
Absolutely.
Some are better than others. Yes, fair point. But everybody's trying. If you get up on that karaoke stage, I'm cool with it.
I'm gonna cheer. I don't care if you shriek like a banshee. I'm gonna cheer because the courage to get up in front of a bunch of strangers in a freaking bar setting doing the karaoke, it's something else. And I'm gonna be honest, the only times I've done it, Duncan, were when I've drinking. So it did kind of take away. I don't have the courage anymore. Oh,
I haven't
God,
been
what
doing
a
it.
heartbreak.
Seriously, it's sad. So it is. I did leave something behind with that, but I have a better time, but I just don't sing anymore.
I have an idea. I don't want to put you on the spot. But what, without music, because I know that could trigger some stuff on your YouTube.
Yeah.
What if we pull up the lyrics to Cat Stevens' Moonshadow and you sing it a cappella?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, let's do that. We still have to read where the sidewalk ends at the end.
We should
finish it off.
Okay,
with that.
great.
I mean, we have to still read that.
Let's get you back.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like, your audience is like, it would be like doing karaoke at Carnegie Hall. You think of all the people that are about to listen to you sing this beautiful song a cappella. Everybody, welcome. Coming up to perform Moonshadow at the Internet Karaoke Club. It's William Montgomery.
Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land. Oh, if I ever lose my hands, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my legs, I won't have to walk no more. Oh my gosh, Duncan, you might have awoken it. And Bryce, thank you for being nice about that. You might have just broken me out of my funk.
Out of the tomb, baby. Out of the tomb.
I might have
Kick
just
that moon shadow.
I might have just walked out with an angel there.
On the third day, he sang again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I seriously, I feel better.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And also, hold on, Bryce, hold on. Can we read really quick? I think we do need to read where the sidewalk ends, just where, again, it's all It's, again, the namesake for the freaking book. All of y'all saw the cover. It's pretty much, there's a lot going on.
Prophecy, there's a lot in here, and it's a rabbit hole. So
Yes.
the sidewalk ends at a rabbit hole, basically. So if you don't want to like get your mind blown, just skip.
Skip this
stop
part
or
because
skip.
it's weird.
You want to start?
I can start, just different. Yeah, we'll do different
paragraphs,
paragraphs. There is a place where the sidewalk ends and before the street begins. And there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moon bird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind.
Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark street winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends.
And we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know the place where the sidewalk ends.
Let's read that one last time together. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know the place where the sidewalk ends.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, kind of weird. Again, we don't know. I think you can gather positive stuff from it. I think it doesn't necessarily have to be a scary thing. But
look, the apocalypse means lifting of the veil. It's the final moment where you see your bride. It's a beautiful thing, actually.
For sure. And Duncan, here we have to thank Ant today, Mr. Anthony Whiplash Morganson, and these are our mercenaries. We have a couple of different tiers for the Patreon, and there's
wow.
These are our mercenaries. I think it has been dwindling a little, but we're still. Art of Sean King. Hello, Mr. Sean King. Ashley Belfield. Beef. Still want to meet Beef. Ben Hashin. Daniel Hunter. Danja Fox. Destiny. A Ford. Dova King. Dr. P. Dugan, I think, is a real doctor. Dr. Peter Dinklage. I don't know if he's a real doctor.
Peter Dinklage is a gynecologist.
Eli Slugworth, Gary Gayboobs, Gina Scalopus, that's new. I love Big Macs, Jay Dizzy, Jenny J, Jess, Joe Kive times 2, and Joe Kive, thank you for helping me with that thing the other day. John Shaw, Justin Threckle, Dr. Threckle's son, and Captain Chaos. Casey's mom has got it going on.
All right.
Remember that song?
I do remember. I was watching Eurotrip. No, it wasn't in Eurotrip. That movie is not as funny as I remember. I remember Eurotrip being a funny movie. I did not finish it.
So good. You got to revisit.
Okay, I need to. The Kill Tony Facebook, Kyle Heath, Larry. Lawyer Joe.
Who is Larry? Do not
That's
think.
my dad.
Don't think.
Matt Foster, Nice Wizard, Nissan Pappy, Rachel O'Donnell, Ruby Jewel Sparkle, Sandy Shane from the Big Island at Kaya.
All right.
Satrack. Aloha. Satrack, Shiva, Snow Roach, Gaming Crooner. Thank you for helping me on Remnant the other day. He helped me on a hard part.
That's great.
Vanderweed, White Magic, William and Casey, the Cats. William Gearin? We got a couple Williams. William Ramsey.
Oi. You think he's like Gordon Ramsay? He's like you if he was
English
Gordon
guy. Yeah, we liked it. We know you're an English guy. Drive show on YouTube. Choose your own adventure. No, Worm Drive.
Worm
Drive show.
Oh, okay.
Choose your own adventure. You remember the books? That's what this is.
Cool.
And back to Ann. All right. Well, thank you all so much.
What about? Oh, it flipped.
And then it flipped.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, thank you all so much. And Duncan, thank you so much.
Anytime. Man, I love cutting it up with you, William.
Yeah,
You're
my
the
gosh.
best.
It was a pleasure. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks for
Duncan.
having me.
And also the book, what was it called again?
Weight Games.
Weight Games.
Weight Games. You can find it's only right now. It's only available on Truth.social, but
Okay.
we had a thing come up with
Walgreens. I don't know if that's true, but Walgreens or CVS or something.
I will put a copy if I go to Walgreens, and so if you go to a Walgreens in Austin, you might find a copy there.
Cool.
I got to get to I haven't been to that one in a while.
Well, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for being on, Duncan.
Thank you for having me.
All righty, and thank you, Bryce.
Thanks, Bryce.
Thanks, William. Thanks, Duncan.
Alrighty, well, that's it. Bye.
Thanks everybody for watching. We're tuning out. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of The William Montgomery Show. Send your questions, artwork, and manifestos to thewilliammontgomeryshow@gmail.com. Leave William a voicemail at 737-471-1098. And never miss an episode of The William Montgomery Show by subscribing to The William Montgomery Show channel on YouTube and anywhere podcasts are sold. Check out William online at william.f.montgomery1 on Instagram. For more William Montgomery, check out Kill Tony on YouTube and check him out live at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas every Monday night. Find more of me, Casey Rocket, at patreon.com/Casey Rocket. Follow me on Instagram at Casey Rocket. This episode of The William Montgomery Show was recorded at Record ATX Studios, right here in the heart of Austin, Texas. The William Montgomery Show is produced by William Montgomery. The anthem is sung by William Montgomery. The drums are sung by William Montgomery. The words are sung by William Montgomery. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Who the fuck said that? I'm trying to have fun tonight.